Welcome back to the table. So we're getting ready to go here. We got the, I was just realizing we're back to the situation where they're going together and we're going together. It's not uncommon, I guess, for that to start happening. So here's the card that's going to be available to us. It's not super duper. So we're probably not going to do the card, but let's take a peek at the next one. And so it is, we can remove 1 hill fort and 2 Civitades units from Votadini. And then we place 1 hill fort and 4 Civitati units in Ordovice. So where is Votadini? Well, I can tell you, Votadini is up here where they're raiding, and then Ordovice is here. So basically we're giving up Scotland and defending this. That's interesting. So we remove 1 hill fort and 2 units from there, and then we place 1 and 4 in there. So that's just a nice like multiplication thing, right? So I can kill 2 militia units and bring out 2 of the 2 of these dark blue without having to pay any wealth, right? Because that's what it costs to put them on the board. But this would let me put them on for free, because right here it says that it just says units. So I get to pick which units it's going to be. So I could upgrade the militia to that. But what I'm doing is I'm weakening the defenses up there. That's an interesting concept. That would be the next event card though, so I would have to pass to get to it, and I don't know if I necessarily want to. The AI definitely doesn't want to do their piece, which is place as Federati 3 Scotty warbands and 1 Scotty settlement in Ordovice. So that's a nice way to colonize Ordovice, I guess, but interesting. So the issue is that during this round, red's going to go first and then blue has to go second. So that means blue is going to get a limited command. There's no way to get it a full command unless red does the event, which I don't think they want to do. I can put this card in 1 C zone and reduce all raids by 3, but like I just told you, since they've already created settlements, they're not going to be raiding by sea very much anymore. Well, I can tell you with certainty that red is going to do a full feat and command. So no worries with that. So the question then becomes is, does blue want to do a limited command or the event, which I don't think they do, or they can pass. Now let's say they pass, they get to go second. So they're going to be able to screw black out of another round. So black doesn't go this turn and they're not going to get to go next turn. So there is actually some strategy there, right? So if we pass, we get some resources, which is good, but then we get to go before them. So now they're going to be waiting basically 3 rounds before they get to go again. That's actually not a bad option. So, okay, so let's do the red command. We got some roads here. So we have an opportunity to really do a mega battle, but I'm gonna have to bring a lot of cavalry here to take these guys out. But it is a possibility, right? So we do have that. What else can we do? We got Parisi back up, so that's good. We could do the train, which, like we said, would get the militia on the board, so we could try to do that. But then we could also add prosperity equal to population, so we can get some of the prosperity back out. That's not a bad option, because prosperity helps us win the game, of course. Wiping these guys out will give us prestige if we can wipe them all out. That is quite a tall order. if we did do an intercept, we can only do an invite or retaliate. A retaliate is only in a battle space with an enemy stronghold. So I would have to go against, you know, for example, that stronghold there. And it would give a nice prestige and take away their renown. But I can't do that, not with an intercept at least, because that their stronghold's not in a place with a road. If I marched there and then battled, I could, but that's quite a few turns. So the train, I think, is still the best option, unfortunately. I mean, we could intercept, like I said, but I have to move a lot of cavalry from places to be able to take out this many guys without getting hurt. And then there's a chance they may just evade because they're in their home turf. So I think I'm going to do the train, and then I can do requisition, which steals more money from them, or build, which I don't think does anything for me because I can only build towns, which the towns are fully maxed out. So I could still do this. This invite thing is not a bad, it's not an evil option. Let's put it that way. Okay. Let's train first. In each space, pay 3 resources to place 1 cavalry or up to 2 militia. Then pay 2 resources in up to 2 regions with friendly control and fort or cavalry to add prosperity equal to population. So I'm going to just pay 3 resources once to add 2 militia. So we'll go, and we're always spending the blue money, of course. And we're going to add 2 militia, and it's got to be somewhere with a town or a hill fort. So I think because blue is planning on doing that event, I'm going to add the militia here in preparation for that. So, haha. So that's good. And then I'm going to pay 2 resources in up to 2 regions. So I'm going to spend 4 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to add prosperity to 2 regions. So the first one I'm going to do is Parisi here. Let's get 2 prosperity there. And then the next one I'm going to do is... There's a lot of options. I can do this one. I can do over here. What would be the most effective for me? Really, anywhere that I can add 2 is the most effective. So I'm going to go ahead and put them here. So that just added 4. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're still falling low. You can see the barbarians are doing their toll on us. What's funny is we still can't play the green barbarian pivotal card because there's been no fort destroyed yet. And to be quite honest, that is actually amazing. I usually always lose a fort or some because of a raid or whatever. But anyways, so that's the train action. And so now we can do either a requisition or an invite. The invite, like I said, we would be inviting Federati into the mix. We do have to create a site for a settlement for them. If I did, for example, a Scotty Federati, I can take 2 of their war bands, but I would be taking 1 of their settlements, which is now enough for them to trigger a win if they could ever get enough renown to win the game, which is all the way up here at 46. But you look over there, they're already at 22. So I don't think we want to encourage them. And at some point, we may have to knock them off a notch. The Saxon settlements, of course, they could play theirs to basically steal them back from us at any point. So they can revolt against us. So if I do create a federati settlement for the Saxons, what I would want to do is make sure they get destroyed. That's a big thing. A federati stronghold, of course, can be destroyed by, I think the blue player can destroy a red federati stronghold. I'm not sure about that. For sure they can do it once fragmentation happens. I'm not sure, you know, because now we're sort of allies. I don't think it's quite true. But if, let's say they ever revolt, or there's no warbands left, and the marker is no longer on the stronghold, we can attack the stronghold. We can do it ourselves, because that stronghold's no longer loyal to us. So we could eliminate those fairly quickly. And you know what's interesting is you do get to plunder them. And it's off-map plunder. So there is some strategy to that. Obviously, I steer away from it because it's just so dangerous with them revolting and stuff. So wherever I put one, I want it to be... Or I could just requisition and steal 6 resources from blue, but I don't want to do that. You know what? We are. Let's show you how this works. We're going to do an invite, and we're going to settle a federati under Duke's command, and the Duke's command. It's a space with a Duke piece and friendly control. It costs us nothing, so we're going to put it in a region. We can place up to 3 Saxon or 2 Scotty, and 1 matching settlement at a vacant site or replacing a fort, all with red federati markers. Or we can pay 1 resource to convert blue ones into ours, which is not even possible. So what I'm thinking we would do is we would put this here along with 1, 2, 3 warbands, and we can make Parisi a bit of a stronghold there. I clearly don't want to destroy a fort or somewhere where we're already located. So I can't get up there yet because we have 2 forts here and we have 2 there and 2 there. I don't want to destroy any of those. I would love to place it here, but I can't because we don't have control of the region. And so then I got the same dilemma. I don't want to destroy something that's already established. So this is the closest I can get to here. And it also helps defend that region in case they want to raid it again in the future. So, before I forget, since this was the red player, what you do is you put red federati markers on all of them to show that they are loyal to the Romans, at least for now. So yeah, maybe it's a stupid idea, but let's do it so you can see how that works. Okay, so that was red's turn. Now we get to blue, and I think blue very much is going to pass. And the nice thing about it is they get 1, 2, 3 resources for doing so. And yes, we are going to get to screw black over for this next round. All right, so blue is very interested in this. Green is not. So blue will very likely get this. But let's see what's coming next. Oh no, it's Arthur. Okay, shift to military dominance. All current casualties to available until epoch. Battle removes cavalry to available, not casualties. Okay, that's actually, it's nice, but we don't need it. We're already military. I don't have any cavalry casualties. But see this bottom one? Blue actually would like this one. Shift to civilian dominance. See that? In one space with both comitatus and cavalry. Remove them all. And the cavalry go to casualties. So it's a little bit dark. But here's the problem. I don't have any comitatus on the board. So could I still do that? I could, but it would require blue to pass yet again, a second time. And I'm not sure I'm not sure I need it. I got 10 wealth from that other event, so my wealth is amazing. I'm more than double the prestige for red right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and go. Green is first. And so green, no. No. Nope. Let's roll. I rolled a 3. So yes, they're gonna raid, and again, they're gonna raid, I think it was 4 locations. So let's roll to see where they raid. So I rolled a 5. So they're gonna target 2 plus prosperity. And so here's what I learned. You only roll once. And so you're either doing this or that. You're not doing both. So I've been teaching you wrong. So even over here, if I roll a 1 to a 4, we're gonna do highest difference in population minus enemy troops. And here's the kicker. That's the number of raiders that we're gonna pay 3d4 for. Otherwise we go into 1d4 mode. That I think is the thing I was missing when I was explaining it to you. And so here, so if I only roll a 1, only 1 raid is gonna be here for 2d4. All the other ones are gonna go down here to the 1d4 bucket. Okay, hope that makes sense. This I do remember doing now, and I apologize for not remembering that from the beginning. So I probably threw a lot of people off. But 4 places. I rolled a 5. So we're going to target 2 plus prosperity. So right here. Target most 2 plus prosperity. So we want to target where there's the most prosperity, and we want least subtraction. Well, right now everything's open, right? There's no patrols. Well, even if there are patrols, there's nobody to kill them. Although I do have a Federati now, so there's 1. But yes, we're gonna go where there's the most. So where would that be? Well, for sure, the most is right here. So 1's gonna go there. And then where's 2, 3, and 4 gonna go? So 2, 3, and 4. So if you look at the map here, that's all we have. Now, they do get to do a feat, because it's a command plus a feat that they're doing. And so the feat they want to do is surprise. So if it's with a raid, only as a deep raid for a first region to reach a higher priority target where prosperity exceeds the number of enemy troops. So if they want to raid, and I take it back, they can raid more spots. So I was saying most prosperity, I was picking these regions out here, but actually, like for example, this one can go here because there's 4 prosperity there. And then this one is going to do the deep raid, and there's 8 prosperity there. And so we have to put a gray because they're going to do what's called the deep raid, which is part of the surprise. Okay, so surprise. Yeah, so here's the issue with surprise. When you do surprise, the Duke or a faction with control can force a battle with the Scotty before they even plunder. So you can go 1 deep like that and try to go for the big rich regions there, but we can actually force a battle to occur, and in doing so, we could, basically kill them before they even get a chance to plunder, and that's a risky thing. Now, the other thing is that one of these four is going to get the Neo-Nagalak, which is, I always think this is Jimmy the Tulip in the whole 9 yards. Neo-Nagalak, Jimmy, or what is it? Jimmy, let's see, there's Jimmy the Tulip and Neo-Nagalak. There's got the guy, the bad guy in there, has this name that sounds very similar. Okay, back to this. So, so you could argue that the Neo-Nagalak wants to do the deep raid, right? So they should support the deep raid so we can get as much of this juicy juice as possible. It doesn't say. It says raid first target, whatever that is. If raiders are already in a box, add all of them to first raid target. So yes, what that means then is they would raid that one. And here's how I figure that out. It's most 2+ priority. See that, the word most? That is the first target. So since we have a surprise, the most is that space. So we know for a fact that these 6 guys are going here, which is bad news for us because even though we left troops there, we didn't leave enough to kill that many. In fact, they would kill our cavalry outright, and we don't even have anything else to... we may actually lose a fort even. Okay, so that's 4 spots. So they have to pay 4 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's roll for this deep raid. Oh my gosh, I rolled high. It's a 7. So they're adding 7 more. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my gosh. So it would have been nice if we would have been able to kill some of these, but all right, so now they're gonna plunder 4. Well, we get to choose to attack them. We are not attacking them. I don't have enough to kill all these raiders. So they're gonna plunder 4 from us, which is a big score for them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so with the surprise, their assaults use coup de main. So it's a raider battle space. It may be a deep raid target. Assaults there use coup de main. That raid may be deep space adjacent to a valid raid target. And I want to say that the surprise is either or, meaning you're either doing a deep target or you're doing coup de main. I don't think you do both. Let me check. I might be wrong on that one. So 4, 5, 2. So it's saying that the deep raid counts as one of the 4 allowed regions of the Scotty Raid Command. We get that. Okay, so it's confusing. Of course it's confusing. That's the way these games go. So it may enable them to assaults in the surprise space roll for coup de main. Okay. If the surprise accompanies a raid, the surprise raid region may be a deep raid. But does that mean it also has coup de main? Or is that either or? It doesn't say. Because a coup de main in a deep raid is actually really devastating. But that's what I get for not protecting this enough. They get to do coup de main. So this is bad, very, very bad. Okay, so we're not going to attack them before they plunder. We can't. All of our cavalry are going to die. And so now the next step is, what do we do? We're on the field of battle, and they are definitely attacking us. They got more than enough troops to wipe out anything that we have. They can actually attack one stronghold, and if they survive and still have enough troops, they can go ahead and attack the other stronghold. So they do have coup de main, and good question, do they have coup de main for both? Yeah, all assaults. Oh my gosh, this could be devastating. Okay, so we have to make a decision. Are we going to retreat, one here and one there? Or are we going to do something like that? And so I think what I'm going to do is something like that. I'm going to put 2 in the fort and nothing in the town. This may be a bad decision, but I'm going to roll with it. So let's do the battle. Obviously we're withdrawing, so we don't have to do the field battle or anything of that nature. So let me show you. So there's no pre-battle step because we're on clear terrain, and they're not going to try to evade us. They're attacking. The field battle, there's nothing happening other than we withdrew. Okay. So now we go to the assault, and so if there's a coup de main, we have to roll a d6, and if the roll is less than or equal to 1 plus the stronghold's capacity minus the units that are inside of it, we skip escalade and immediately storm, meaning that they don't get attacked by the garrison because they snuck in. So here's the challenge. A fort's holding capacity is 2. So you have to roll a d6, and if it's less than or equal to 1 plus the capacity, which is 2, which makes it 3, minus whatever troops are inside of it, you skip escalade if it's less than or equal to. So in that case, it would have to be less than or equal to 3 if there was no troops in the fort. If I put 2 troops in the fort, it would have to be a 1. That's the only thing that would work. Now, if you look at the town, they have 4 holding capacity. So this is 1 plus 4, which is 5. So unless they roll a 6, they're going to successfully bypass the garrison, which has 2 units in it. So what I could do is I could put both of my cavalry in the town, which then means that they would need to roll a 5, 4, 3, which is the same odds as the fort, which is also a 3 when it has nobody in it. So I could put them both in the town and force them to have to roll a 3 or lower in both cases to be able to succeed. It's a big gamble because let's say they do roll 3 or lower for the town, the cavalry is going to be toast because we skip the escalade step where the cavalry get to do extra damages to them and have attacking cavalry. Well, the attacking cavalry is not important here, but we get to inflict losses equal to the escalade defense value. Well, the escalade defense value for a town is only a half, so I guess that's not that big of a deal. But if there's 2 garrison units plus my other 2 units, I get to kill 4 units. Otherwise, if they bypass, I kill nothing. And then they are going to do a storm, and I will get to kill 4 units, but my 2 cavalry are dead along with it. If I did the fort thing, see, the escalade defense is a 1. So there's 1 garrison unit there, so he'll kill 2 units, and then my 2 cavalry will kill 2, 4, 6 units. So it's 6 units total, 4 for the cavalry, and so we'll kill 6 units, and they would have to roll a 1 in order to bypass that. That's the reason why I was so anxious to just go straight to the fort and not worry about the town. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to not worry about the town. We're going to stay in the fort, and we're going to try to kill 6 units doing that. We're going to have to roll a die both times, so we're going to see if I roll a 3 or less against this town or not. So let's go ahead and try. So the barbarians are going to now choose who to attack first, which stronghold. And they always choose the easiest one. And so, if 2 enemy strongholds, the first they assault the fewest withdrawn units. And then the Duke absorbed the first escalade loss with assaulting cavalry. Okay, so that's just the Duke is the AI and they're attacking. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll for the coup de main. This is for the town, and I rolled a 6. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, they failed. That's a fail. A 1 through a 5 was a success. Oh, I got so lucky. Okay, well, they're still going to lose, but they're going to do some damage. So what's going to happen is now the town has a garrison of 2. And they're going to be able to do half damage each. So we're going to kill 2 units. So 2 of the Scotty die. And then, of course, now they're inside the town, and it's man for man. And so there's 2 men in this town, and so they're going to kill 2 more. So they actually just killed 4, which is the best possible outcome in this scenario. They would have only killed 2 had they succeeded with their coup de main. So this town is destroyed, and that is going to have some consequences on us, but like I said, that's what I get for not defending these well. Look at this one. It's not very well defended either. Okay, so now I have a fort with 2 units in it. 2 utes. So let's look at the fort with 2 utes. And you can see here they need to have 10 raiders. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ugh, I can't count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my gosh. So because they have 9, they're not going to attack. So what would have happened is, let's say that they, because they're going to fail the coup de main. I guarantee it, they're not going to roll a 1. They rolled another 6, which was awful. Okay, so then what would have happened is there's 1 garrison unit and then these 2, and they all kill 2 units each, so 6 of those 9 would have died. So then there would have been 3 left, and what would have happened is they would have killed my 2 cavalry and they would have killed my garrison, but we would have killed all 3 of theirs. And in that situation, the rules explicitly cover this situation. If everybody's wiped out on both sides, whoever had the stronghold wins. So the stronghold stays, it doesn't get removed. You got to have a surviving troop to remove the stronghold. And that's why 9 units is not quite enough. If they would have had a 10th unit, they would have actually won, and they would have killed our cavalry. So that's actually, this was a very interesting situation. And man, they're really getting us good. So now we got to go to consequences. So if cavalry fought and its side, cavalry didn't fight, so they hid in the town. Every fort or town lowers prestige by 2, so we lose 2. And because they destroyed a town, they're going to get 3 plunder from off map. So those are the 2 things we gotta factor in. They did not lose less pieces than us, so we don't have to worry about that. So we lose 2 prestige. 1, 2, and this goes down by 2. And then they get 3 off-map plunder. So they're making out quite well with this. They have 7 plunder. I see an intercept in our future. Okay, so that was a bad blow. And all of that effort was just for 1 raid out of the 4. Okay, so hopefully these other ones will go smoother. Let's go ahead and do that one next. Oh my gosh, that's 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that particular one, they plunder 2. And so our prosperity goes down to 58. We're at the point now where I think Roman rule is going to degrade to autonomy. I'm serious. The barbarians are definitely tearing us apart right now. Okay, so they took 2. They have 7. There is a town there, and we have 3 troops. So that town's going to be garrisoned with 3. And if you look here at the 3, and you go over, they need 11. So they don't even have remotely enough to break through that town. So no battle for them, and that one's done. So now let's look at the other 2. We're going to go ahead and do this Ordo Vice one. This is 3 and 4 at 7 again. Oh my gosh. That one is not as well defended. So here's 4, 5, 6, and 7. And they're only going to pillage 1 from that space. So that one wasn't quite as juicy. But what else can you do? So prosperity goes down by 1, prestige goes down by 1. Now 7 against that fort. Let's take a quick look. If it was the old hill fort and it had 1 unit in it, 7 was more than enough to conquer it. See, they only needed 5. But since we have the Camelot, it's treated like a fort, and 7 is still enough. Oh my gosh. So I think what's going to happen is they are going to win this battle. So we're going to retreat into the fort. We don't want to face them in the field. And then what's going to happen is that fort is garrisoned. The hill fort has, with Camelot, has 1 garrison unit. But it has an escalade defense of 1. So when the escalade step happens, we're going to kill 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. But then they're going to get in, and there's 2 units. There's this unit and then the unit in the garrison, and we're going to kill 2 more. So we kill all but 1, and then this fort is going to get destroyed, along with that militia. So they do actually cause the British to lose control in that space, so we lose 1 point. So that was unfortunate. And now we go to this last one and roll our dice. It's a 4. They're going to get obliterated at this spot. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. They do pillage 2. And everything drops by 2. But they're definitely not attacking. The cavalry would annihilate them there. Okay, so that was a very long turn, but a very effective one for the AI. So green is very proud of that. So now we get to who's next. It would be blue. And blue, of course, has a whole bunch of stuff, but he's going to do the event now more than ever, because this one would have actually helped him, but it's still going to help him because he's going to get control back. He's going to remove a hill fort and 2 units from Votadini, and then he's going to place a hill fort and 4 units into Ordovice. Okay, so Votadini, as you may remember, is up here. So you're going to remove a hill fort and 2 units. Okay, and they're going to go back into the pool, but I'm going to keep the hill fort, and the Ordovice is the area they just took. So now we're going to put that hill fort right back. And guess what that means? Our control comes back. So we get that point back. And then we get to put 4 units down there. And so obviously one of them is going to be the militia, but I'm going to put all 3 of these, and I did not have to pay 1 wealth for all 3 of them to place them. So that was a free placement. Now granted, they're far away from most of the action, but they might be able to help defend that area a lot better in the future. So they're there for now, and maybe someday when I get a march action or something, I can move them somewhere else. Okay, so not the worst event in the world. We got our deep blues in place. It would be nice to do maybe some action where we gain resources, but it is what it is. Okay, so we move here, turns over, card's gone. We have quite a discard pile here, so I'm guessing the next epoch is coming very soon. This is the Arthur card, and you know, we almost got our first casualties and lost our first fort, but we got lucky by our skin of our, you know, or chin of our skinny skin, or chin of our skin of our chinny chin chin. That's what. Sorry. This is actually, it's not a bad card. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not sure I want to spend my event on it. I want to go kill some barbarians. But let's see what the next card is. Isle of Avalon. So 5 cavalry from casualties become available, which is very helpful if you have casualties. But here's the one that hurts. 5 cavalry from casualties go to out of play, which thank goodness we don't have any in the casualties. And you see that the AI really doesn't care about this one too much. Obviously red cares about it immensely. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and put that there. Red's not gonna necessarily do it. And so what are we gonna do? Do we play Arthur or don't we? Arthur is only going to last until the end of the epoch, and I just said that the epoch might end soon. So we're not going to do that. I'm going to do a full feat in command, and we are going to hunt some rabbits. So we're going to do intercept, and then from there we can invite or retaliate. And retaliate can only be done against an enemy stronghold, which that we can't do. But the intercept costs 2 resources per origin space. So the first space is there, where the white marker already is, because we're going to intercept those barbarians in that exact space. And so then, where else am I going to originate from? This is a good question. I think I want to get them out of the swamp. So we're going to go ahead and leave this place. I only have 1 population there anyways. And there's 2 spots I want to attack. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get both of them. That's the issue. If I do get both of them, which I can't, I could theoretically get both. It's just that I would then be abandoning troops elsewhere. But I do think I can get 2 cavalry out of there. And then the next question is, do I want to take some from the north here? These areas can be attacked. Texto Verde in particular, if I leave that empty, could get attacked. So I don't necessarily want to do that. The this one here, Corvetti or whatever it's called, Carvetti, I don't necessarily need 3 cavalry there, but by having 3 there, it's pretty badass. So there's sort of like a double-edged sword. And then the same goes like back there. So that spot there, the population is only 1. So do I really need 2 cavalry here? Is that space that important? I lose prestige if I lose that fort. So, you know, should I maybe abandon it? And my answer is yes, I will. Because it's only 1 population. All right, so we count them up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 white markers on. So that's 8 resource points. That's pretty expensive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we don't care, it's blues money. All right, so I'm going to take 2 cavalry from here and bring them, I think, to here. So we now have 4 cavalry here that will kill 8 of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 total. And then I'm going to take all 3 cavalry from here and deliver them there. And that's more than enough to kill those guys. And these 3 cavalry that are here are actually just staying. They're just going to obliterate the space they're in. And you know what? I didn't necessarily need to do this, but I'm going to just take 1 cavalry then and put it here to help finish that off. And so then I'll be leaving behind 1 cavalry to help there. Yeah, I think that'll work. Yeah, that's what's going to do. So now we get to do the fun part. We get to intercept. So here's the part you need to know. All 3 places are clear. They're not mountainous areas, right? So it's not their home territory. So in a clear territory, if fighting alone, they can evade only if they roll a 6. So blue is going to be that spot over there. Green is going to be this first closest spot, and then black will be the one further away. And as long as I don't roll 6s, we're home free. Ooh, that scared me a little bit. That's a 4, that's a 5, that's a 2. So we are good. They are going to be obliterated here. So first thing we're going to do is attack here. 2, 4, 6. We're going to charge in the battle. So 2 and 4, they are wiped out. And we will replace 1. And then this one, of course, is lost. So we get 1 back. But more importantly, because we want to battle with cavalry in it, we gain a prestige. So we're up to 5 now. And that gives us another point. Then we come over to here, and it's more of the same. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So all of these, one of them is going to go back. Everything else is out of the game. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All dead. So prosperity goes up by 1, and we gain another prestige. We're up to 6. Then this last one, 2, 4, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. Remember, the raiders attack last. So 2, 4, 6, and then 7. And 1 gets returned. Now in this case, the blue gets to take 1. So let's look that up real quick, because it's very rare that I get to do this, but so we return 1 prestige, and then we gain, return 1 prosperity, and then we gained another prestige. We're still really short. Look at this, the prosperity is still way low, and then our score is still way low compared to where it needs to be. But this is common. and this is part of working our way towards fragmentation. The game just starts degrading like that. Okay, so let's look at the battle consequences and make sure we got the plunder part right. So we know we get the prestige for the cavalry in the battle. We've been doing that. But here, if the executing faction kills enemies with plunder, it either distributes half as desired amongst the attacking units, but it's not allowed to do cavalry, or it returns 1. So it's either or. So yeah, we got to take that away from the blue. I could have, I guess, given the plunder to the blue player, because the cavalry is not allowed to take plunder. But the blue player could have. But I'm going to take the point. The point is better. Giving the plunder to the blue player doesn't give us any points. Okay, now there was roads also here. So we could have tried to take out this monster thing, but yeah, not happening. Okay, so this one is now defended by 2 militia. So this is weaker now, but I am going to make sure that that doesn't happen again, where they go after our rich area. And technically speaking, it may happen again because we got this nonsense. So what I'm actually going to do is take this cavalry and move it to there. As part of the move portion of that turn. We're just dropping it off. Okay, let me make sure I can do that. Move cavalry from adjacent spaces along with friendly control to raiders. Never mind, I can't do that. Okay, I believe our turn is done there. So now it's black's turn. And black, if I remember, they only have 10 raiders. So let's roll the plunder check. They fail that check. So then it moves to here. And nothing's effective. They're not first or second. 1d6 roll on 1 to 2, and settle is certain to add something. Well, they could add another settlement here. So let's roll. They rolled a 5. So they're moving this way. Saxon Warband attack would remove. No. They would need to be able to move. Where they're currently at, there's nobody to attack. Saxons have 20 plus raiders available and 1d6 roll of 1 through 4. Well, I rolled a 2, so that would mean a raid. Do we really have 20 raiders available? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14. I see 15 available. We don't have 20 plus available. So that would have been a no. We wouldn't have rolled the die. Saxons, by sequence of play, may use the event. Shift to civilian dominance in one space with both comitatis and cavalry and remove them all. They could use the event, but it doesn't benefit them at all. This is number 1 here. So look, it's got the sword. Let's go look up what it says. Play only if removing pieces. So there's no place that has comitatis and cavalry. So no pieces would be removed. So the answer is no. So with the answer being no, they're raiding. So we got to the same outcome anyways. Okay, so now we're going to roll the die and see where they're raiding. So die is rolled. I rolled a 3. So that means they only do 3 raids. So all 3 of them are going to be where the highest difference in population minus enemy troops is. Okay, so that's what the 3 is helping us to do. And they're going to go where there's enemy control and or 2 plus prosperity. Where highest difference in population minus enemy troops. So there's not a lot of spots with 2 plus. They're not going to get to do a feat, so they don't get to do surprise or ravage or anything like that. But because the patrols are gone, they can now start invading the south here. So if we pick our 3 spots, that are enemy controlled plus have highest difference in population minus troops. This is a -1 here. And it has the 2+ prosperity, which is part of the criteria. This one is the highest that has 2+ prosperity. There's some of these other ones that are maybe a little bit better, but they don't have any prosperity at all. They can't go deep because they don't have a feat to allow them to do that. And so, you know what else would have one? This one is -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 minus 5, that's -3. This one over here is 4 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a -1, so they're gonna go there. And then this one here is a 2 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a -4. So this one is actually better with the -3. And this one I think I got to take away. That would be the 3 locations. Now, could they raid the same place twice? Yeah, they could. And I think in this case they would, because this one only had a -1 for troop ratio. So we'll go ahead and rate that one twice. All right, well, the unfortunate part is our patrols aren't killing diddly. In fact, we do have this here, right, would kill something, but there is no patrol in this C zone, so it's completely shut off. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the one that's by itself over there. And I got a 4, 7, and another 4. Oh my gosh, 4, 4, and 3. So that is 11. Oh my gosh, that's almost all the raiders. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, there's 8 of them. And then 9, 10, 11. So here's what's crazy. So they're going to be able to pop off 4 prosperity. So we're going to lose another 4 there. So 1, 2, well, I'm just going to lay them here for now. And that's another 4 prosperity lost. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just for the record, the human players probably would have gone after these spaces a long time ago. The AI is just finally getting smart. And the large reason the AI was avoiding that was because we had a patrol here but didn't have a patrol there. And it was totally throwing off the priority of the AI. So that's part of the, I guess, the drawback. But now that the patrols are gone, you're noticing that the AI is getting a lot more effective. So yes, there are things that can screw it up, but then there's things that release it. So anyways, back to this. We have a fort, but the fort can only hold 2, and 10 is enough to kill the fort. But here's what's crazy about this. They want to assault the fort because the fort, they have enough to assault it because they have 10, and that's how much it takes to kill the fort. But here's the problem. So now they're going to do a battle, right, to assault the fort. And so we're going to not go into the fort. We're just going to stay out in the field. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and kill all of them. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So we killed all but 1. And so now they attack us, and they do a half damage, which kills nothing. And then they go to assault the fort, and I don't think they're going to anymore because the battle in the field obliterated them. Attackers assault only whenever able to remove a stronghold. So they were able, assuming that we withdrew 2 units into here. I guess you could argue that they weren't able to, because just because of the sheer number of troops there, that was lunacy. But they were able to. It's just they're not going to be able to. I guess, yeah. So what do we do, folks? It says they do the assault, the battle, if they're able to. And then it says check the chart, right? So we check the chart, and you can see here with 2 garrison units, as long as they have 10, then they are able to assault. Can Raider assault remove stronghold? And the answer is yes. So that's what causes them to go. But the problem is it's not taking into account the amount of cavalry that's just sitting in the field waiting for them to tear them apart. So it is a bit of a logic issue, and if you firmly believe that they would not do a suicide raid like that, then by all means interpret it the other way. I actually think you can go either way on this, and you're going to be fine. By leaving those 11 units there. Actually, let me do that. Let me show you what this is going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to leave them there. We're going to assume that they're not that stupid. All right, and so they still have all 4 plunder sitting on them, and they just decided not to assault. So now we're going to go do this one twice. Here's where this actually benefits us. Whereas the suicide run would not have benefited us. And I'll show you in a second. It'll make sense. So I'm going to roll, and I got a 2, a 1, and a 2. So it was 2, 4, 5, right? So now we come over here to grab 5 raiders. Oh, there's only 4. See, they're all gone. So had we killed all 10 of those guys because they did their suicide run, there would have been 10 guys here to do the raid. Now there's only 4. And not only do they do 4, but the last raid doesn't even happen because there's nobody alive to do anything. So the suicide run is actually not the worst thing in the world. But the 4 guys do land, and 2 of them get plundered. So 1, 2 gets removed, and they're definitely not attacking anything. They don't have anything close to the number of troops necessary to win. And then the last assault doesn't happen. So, and actually 1, 2, 3, 4, they didn't have enough to pay for the last assault anyway, or last raid anyways. So that would be the black player's turn. All right, we're at an hour. I hope this game is still entertaining. I'm sort of having fun. This is turning into a long game. I don't think there's going to be a win anytime soon. Right now, if I were to assess it, the blue player is the closest to being able to win, but he doesn't have all the things in place to make it happen. He needs to take... No, he actually might be able to win. So this game might actually be quicker than you think. So, and by the way, when I looked in the rules, when I'm playing 2 factions, I can win. I know I said that I had to win with both factions. It gets very confusing. You can win with both factions if you are the playing a multiplayer game. Gives up one of them to become a non-player for the rest of the game only if there's fragmentation. But here it says using their worst victory margin, 1.5. So that's, I think, the thing that's killing me here. So the 1.5, yeah, I'm changing my mind again. The 1.5, what it's talking about is a player running 2 factions uses a lower victory margin of the 2 and only causes play to end on a victory check if both factions meet their conditions. And I can't do that because red only wins if this is on the red side and blue only wins if it's on the blue side. The only way I could win with both factions is if we get to fragmentation. So this is going to be a long game. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome.